more than 60% of people running ads on Facebook say that they're not able to run profitable Facebook ads at all. And I think one very big factor in that is that people think Facebook ads are a set and forget thing. So they think they just set up the campaign, let the ads run, and the conversion will come in automatically. Well, that's not quite how it works in 2020. You have to be on top of your game and optimize your campaigns on a daily basis. So on a daily basis, you have to turn off ads that are not working, add in new ads when you have reached a certain frequency and there's the ad fatigue coming, and of course you also have to scale the ads that actually work. As an agency owner running Facebook ads for multiple businesses, I know that these tasks can get quite overwhelming, and there is actually something that you can use to help yourself, and that is Facebook's automated rules. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can set up automated rules for your business so that you never overlook something again. We're going to set up rules that prevent ad fatigue by controlling your frequency, rules for scaling, and rules for cost control. I'm going to walk you through step by step in the backend of Ads Manager and show you how it exactly works for your business. Okay, welcome back. As I told you in the intro, this video is about Facebook automated rules. So what are they? They are basically rules that you can set in the backend of Ads Manager, and they go ahead and automatically check your campaigns, ads, and ad set whenever you set them to check it. And they are awesome to control your costs. So you can use them to automatically turn off ads when the cost per acquisition gets too high. You can also use them to avoid ad fatigue. So once a certain ad reaches a level of a frequency, you can tell them to automatically turn it off. And you can also use this to scale profitable ads without resetting the learning phase. So this is sometimes when an ad is running very well, it is very daunting to scale the ad a bit too fast, which would result in resetting the ad to the learning phase. And we, of course, want to avoid that. So we want to take this gut feeling and this human factor out of the calculation and want to use the automatic rules to consistently scale it. So how can we set this up? For that, we need to go into Business Manager, pull up the Ads Manager, and there we go to the Business Tools, which you can find here. And there we go to automated rules. As you can see, I already set up some automated rules, and these are very basic ones that I think are beneficial for almost any business, and that's why I created them. So when you want to create an automated rule, you go here and say create rule. And then you can see all the different variables that you can use. You can apply the rule on all campaigns, on all ad sets, or on all active ads. Then you can determine what action there should be. The actions can be that the automatic rule automatically turns off the ad set. So if we would choose an ad set, let's, for example, also go to campaigns, then it would do the same for the campaigns. So you can decide to turn it off, turn on, send a notification only, or adjust the budget. And here you can increase the daily budget, decrease the daily budget, increase the lifetime budget, or decrease the lifetime budget. Here, now it gets really interesting. These are the conditions. And you can see that here you can set up very complicated rules that exactly match your needs. So when you start out with an ad account, then over the first time, you will learn what works for the ad account, and you will discover that you always have to repeatedly do the same tasks to optimize. And once you figured this out for the specific account, then you can go ahead and be very detailed here. So with many of our accounts, we have a lot of rules set up. You can actually set up to 250 rules here. But for the beginning, it is good to just keep it simple, because otherwise, and especially if you don't use the notification action here. And this is also something I would suggest you in the beginning. Maybe just use send notification only. So you're reminded that there's a task that you should do, that there's an ad you should look at, and don't already go ahead and let it actually turn off or on the campaign or adjust the budget. Because if you don't know how the rules work, and if you're not really familiar with this, it could be that you're sabotaging your own campaigns and you want to avoid that. So as I said, here are the conditions, and you see you can select a lot of conditions. There are basically all the variables you can also measure within your campaigns you can target here. You can go and say, for example, if your if your spend is greater than 100, or if your spend is greater than 1,000, and you did not have, let's say, conversions. If your budget is, or if you have already spent 1,000 and you didn't get 100 conversions from it, then you want to turn off the campaigns. This is just an example now. You can schedule this rule and say it should run consistently and check every 30 minutes if this condition is met, and then act accordingly. You could also say check on a daily basis, or you can add a custom schedule even. You can say that you want to get the notification and by email, and then of course you can give your rule a name. Okay. So this is it. You can also use this tool to, for example, just increase your budget on the weekends or on certain times a day when you know that your users are online and ads are converting better. So this is really the tool where you can very fine tune your campaigns and automate it. But for the beginning, what we use in almost any campaign and what I would suggest is avoid ad fatigue. So ad fatigue is something when users have seen an ad multiple times already and they have not reacted to it. This is something that is called ad fatigue. Your click-through rate will suffer from that, and your overall ad performance will go down. So you want to make sure that your ads stay below a certain frequency. And at least when ads have been shown to people a lot of times, you want to know about that and check it out if this ad needs to be taken down and needs to be replaced. I talk always a lot about testing and adding in new creatives, and this is a very important aspect of that. So how can you set that up? This is a very simple rule. What we have is we want to be notified once an ad, so all ads, reach a frequency greater than 4, and this is over the complete lifetime. This rule should run consistently, and we want to be notified by email. So that way you know once an ad has reached a frequency and you can react to it. You could also combine it. If you don't always want to go in manually and see, you could combine it with certain metrics. For example, one combination I really like is to combine the frequency with the click-through rate. So you could, for example, from an ad account over time, what the average click-through rate is. And you can say, if the click-through rate goes down, for example, below 2, then I want the ad to be turned off automatically. So turn off the ads if the click-through rate is smaller than 2. So save the rule, and then this is pretty much updated. So that was the first thing, control the frequency. Second thing would be scaling profitable campaigns. So what is better than a profitable campaign, right? So you want to take full advantage of that and add as much budget as you can without resetting the learning phase. So if you would increase the budget too fast, then you could reset the learning phase. It is better to consistently increase the budget on a small amount. So what we want to do is, for this particular campaign, we want to increase the daily budget by 10%. Make sure to put in a budget cap, right? So in this case, we did $150, and this rule should be applied once a day. So if the campaign ROAS, the total campaign ROAS is above 3, so 3 times ROAS, then we want to increase the budget daily by 10%. And I also want to be notified about that. You used to be able to adjust this on an ad set level 2, but you probably know that since February now, the campaign budget optimization CBO is mandatory, and now you can only define this on the campaign level. Okay, lastly, this is also very important. You always want to control your costs. And you should have, for every campaign that you run, for all the accounts, you should know your KPIs, and you should know in what frame you want to be, for example, with your cost per purchase. And one way to control this could be that you go ahead and say on an ad level, if lifetime impressions are above 8,000, you probably know about the delivery insights, and that this is the minimum you need to, the minimum of impressions that you need to be able to say something about the ad, to analyze it. So if this is above 8,000 lifetime impressions and the cost per purchase would have gone up above the number that is okay for you or for your client, in this case it is $50, and this has happened over a time range of 3 days, then please go and turn off the ads. We want this to be consistently tested. So every 30 minutes, Facebook says, are these criteria met? If they're met, then the ad is turned off. And that way you can avoid burning money. Okay, so these are 3 concepts that are very basic, but I think already very helpful if you're starting out. And as I said, you can be very complex with that. And if you're an agency owner, or if you run a lot of campaigns, for example, you have an e-commerce business, then make sure that you check those out and set up rules that apply well for your business. This can be a real game changer, at least for us it is. And yeah. Let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to answer all your questions in the comments. And if you like content like this, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Bye.